Alright guys, so the next step in the process for rifle loading that's a little bit different from pistol loading is when you actually charge the cases. They're going to be slightly different. So I have my usual RCBS Uniflow over here, and when you're dealing with extruded powder, which I'll explain in a second, as you can see, extruded powder versus ball powder, these little sticks here basically, and when you're using them in something like this, they're going to stick a little bit more. So if you're using an RCBS Uniflow, since that I'd said that was probably the cheapest way to do it, when you throw it, it may stick a little bit. You may have to push it through and actually kind of break some of these up a little bit doing that. But, you know, it's not quite as accurate as throwing ball powder or flake powder for pistol or ball powder for rifle. So then I put it on the scale like I had done before, and I measured out this charge needs to be 48 grains. So as you can see right there, I have it on 48 grains, but I also have this tool called a trickler here. And what this does is allows me to drop just a little bit in there, because extruded is not going to be quite as accurate. It's going to be close, but not quite as accurate. So I put them in there and I spin this little guy, and it drops in just a few pellets at a time to get me closer to the actual weight. Let me take a little bit. Maybe I didn't put enough in there. Let me get it a little bit closer, and then I'll zoom out again. And I was way off. Okay, and as it starts getting closer and closer to zeroing out, you're just going to trickle a little bit more. So this is only if you're using extruded powder. If you're using ball powder, it's not gonna matter as much. Like I said, you can throw it more accurately on the first go round. But when using extruded, if you want it to be accurate, this is the cheapest way to do it, in my opinion, is to have a trickler set up with a balance scale like this. So just as I did in the pistol loading series, as you can see, once it zeroes out like it has there, then that is the correct charge that I want to use. So here, as my example, I have some 260 Remington. Since the 223 is super secret, classified, government doesn't like it, I can't show you on AR stuff, but I'll show you with this. So all your deer hunters out there, take note. So, you know, just the usual thing, pour it in the case with your funnel, make sure you get it all, whatever. And now you got a charged case. And with some extruded powders, as you can see, this one's right up to the top. That's called a compressed load, meaning there really isn't any room for air in there. It's actually fairly normal to have that. It happens pretty often compared to other powders. Ball powders usually have a little bit of air in there, but since there's so much air in between these little extruded pellets, using a compressed load is sometimes a better thing because it gives you a more consistent burn. And I will move on to the next step of seating briefly.